9:01 a.m. There we go. It's 9:01 a.m. on February 10th, 2026. And I thank you for joining us here this morning at our commission chambers here in the Doña County Government Center. We'll start our meeting today with an invocation and moment of silence. And so if you'll join me for that moment of silence, please. All right, thank you all. And if you're able to, if you'll stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All righty. Randy, if you can do a roll call to determine quorum, please.
Commissioner Shaldo Hernandez,
Present.
Commissioner Chaparro,
Present.
Vice Chair Gameros,
Here.
Chair Sanchez.
Present.
It was 2 years.
I know, I get it. The commission convenes as the Board of County Commissioners and the County Board of Finance in open session. Mr. Andrews, are there any changes to the agenda?
I believe there's one request to pull item number 2. That was the only one I have received from any the board members.
Is it to pull off consent or just not have on,
That's correct, pull
not for
from consent.
consideration?
Just pull from consent to discussion.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, then we'll move on to the consent agenda. We will, as requested, look at agenda item number 2 and consider that for under approvals. So I'm asking for a motion to approve the consent agenda items 1, 3, 4, and 5. If I can get a motion in a second.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Commissioner Shaldo Hernandez, a second by Vice Chair Gameros. Are there any comments or questions on the consent agenda? All right. Randy, if I can get a roll call on the consent agenda items number 1, 3, 4, and 5.
Commissioner Shaldo Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Chaparro,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gameros,
Yes.
Chair Sanchez.
Yes. Those items are approved.
We have one resolution in the consent agenda, item number 3, 2026-19.
Thank you. All right, we'll do the we'll move on to employee recognition now, where the commission will recognize Doña County employees for their years of service to Doña County. And for that, I will turn it over to Ms. Deb Weir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have 4 employees that we would like to recognize today for their service to Doña County and our community. We would like to start with Mr. Adrian Acosta, who is a data analysis coordinator in the assessor's office, and he has 15 years of service with the county. Mr. Ernie Campos is a planning assistant in community development, also with 15 years of service to the county. And Captain Richard Drake, who I believe is here with us today, if you don't mind standing, Captain, with 20 years of service. And last but not least, Mr. Felipe Scoble, who is the Web Services Manager with the Information Technology Department. So if you see these employees, please take a moment to thank them and express our appreciation for their service to our community and to the organization. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Weir. All right, well, thank you to those employees. And now we'll move on to employee special recognition. And so for that, I will turn it over to Ms. Ashley Suniga.
I think I got it. Perfect. Okay. Sorry about that. Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Chair, Commissioners, and colleagues in the public. Today is a special moment for our organization as we present our very first Employee of the Year award. This recognition was created to honor an individual who consistently demonstrates excellence in public service, dedication to their team, and a genuine commitment to the residents we serve. The person we are recognizing today represents the very best of what it means to work in public service. She brings professionalism, reliability, and care to her role each and every day. Her work often happens behind the scenes, but its impact is felt across the county and within the community. It is my honor to recognize the 2025 recipient from the Clerk's Department, Bernadine Caporal. You want to come up, honey? Bernadine serves in recording and filing, where she has built a reputation for being exceptionally dependable, welcoming, and helpful to every customer who walks through the door. She is known for her strong work ethic, her consistency, and the pride she takes in doing her job well. She shows up on time, ready to serve, and ready to support her team. One of the qualities that makes Bernadine especially deserving of this recognition is her commitment to growth and to the people she serves. She has been actively working to learn Spanish so she can better assist customers in our community. Even with others around her who can help translate, she makes the effort to learn something new each day so she can connect more directly and provide better service. That level of initiative and heart speaks volumes about the kind of employee and person she is. What makes Bernadine stand out is not just what she does, but how she does it. She approaches her work with kindness, professionalism, and a steady presence that others can count on. She is a great asset to the clerk's office and to Doña County, and her dedication reflects the values we strive to uphold as an organization. Because of her service, her reliability, her commitment to learning, and the positive impact she has on both her team and the public, we are proud to name Bernadine Caporal as our very first Employee of the Year. Bernadine, thank you for the work you do, for the example you set, and for the care you show our community every day. Please join me in congratulating Bernadine Caporal. You want in front of the resolution?
Me too. You did.
Thank you.
Well, no, this is it now.
Leaving it out, that way we're 2 and 2 and on each side.
Okay.
Thanks, Jacob.
Jacob's always on it.
He sure is.
Congratulations.
Okay, the next item on our agenda here is public input. We invite the public to participate and provide 3 minutes. They'll have up to 3 minutes to provide public input. If there is an item on the agenda up for consideration and the public input is specific to that, we ask that you wait for the agenda item to speak. If you do come up, I do want to welcome you up as soon as you're done, either during or before. We do have a book to the left of the podium, so that way we can get your information and make sure we capture that correctly for the record, and then if there's any need to reach out, we can do that. And so with that, I'd like to open up for public input. Are there any members of the public that would like to provide public input at this time? Oh, go ahead and come up. You can come and then sign after is fine. So you can, yeah, if you want to go ahead and come up and then you can provide your information after.
Okay.
And if you wouldn't mind, just please state your name for the record.
It's Naomi Locklear.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning. My question was about the MOU that was listed on the previous agenda before it was changed, and why that was under the approvals, but for some reason, no one has the MOU. And that's very upsetting as a constituent. It's hard for me to understand that. And then I also was wondering why the item did not list anything about the Mescalero Apache tribe, when clearly that was part of the item, but that part was left off, and it feels disingenuous. It feels dishonest that that wasn't all included. And I also wanted to say, why was the item removed if it was under the approvals title? And then I wanted to leave you all with a couple of quick scriptures. Luke 8:17, for nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hidden that shall not be known and come to light. And also Matthew 7:12, do unto others as you would have them do to you. I'll just say quickly, everyone in the community is very upset about what happened with Project Jupiter. And this is just a follow-up to that, where it feels very dishonest, disingenuous, trickery, like really like very, I hope that you guys understand how important it is for your character in the community. If you want to represent us, you should be our hands and our feet. You should do the will of the people who have elected you. And if you want to continue being elected and in office, then you should listen to us, not someone from the Land Commission office or someone from the Mescalero tribe. They won't get you elected to another position. And so I really want to ask you from the bottom of my heart, please be honest. Please do what you have signed up to do. And that is not doing anything that's hiding things, that's doing things that in secret. You should all be representing us in the open, above board, and have character. That's what I would ask. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead and come on up, sir.
Hi, my name is Lynn Bowman. I'd like to know what the specific issues are that are being discussed with the Mescalero Apache tribe within the development of the Memorandum of Understanding with respect to what the tribe wants and what the county wants. Do you answer the public input?
No, we don't. It's just the 3 minutes. So we'll have to understand you have the question, and we'll try to provide that information once we have more information. Thank you, sir.
Good morning. My name is Raymond Romero. Good morning, Chair Sanchez, Vice Chair Gameros. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I wanted to bring to your attention, and I think all of us are here to speak about this that are in line here, about the proposed A Mountain land exchange between the State Land Office and the Mescalero Apache tribe. That was really what the first two comments were touching upon. Now, this has been in the works since November of 2024, when the Mescalero Apache tribe submitted their application to exchange these lands. These lands exist directly south of the A Mountain, the Tortugas Mountain, and they are in a wild area that is right on top of a watershed, right on top of a major arroyo system for the city of Las Cruces and the county of Doña. We know that the county officials have met with the Mescalero Apache tribe and the state land office in late 2025, yet we've seen no information from the county commission or the county government regarding this meeting. We had to obtain these documents via IPRA from the state land office after we found out about this. Now, I've seen some recent information that indicates the tribe may have diverted its interest from that land out to the West Mesa, but again, we've been given no information about this. And we see this, as Ms. Locklear spoke about, we see this agenda item on the county commission meeting to approve a memorandum of understanding. We have no idea at all as constituents what is going on regarding this land exchange. The state land office has not made it known to any of us that the Mescalero Apache tribe has possibly diverted its interest from the A Mountain lands to the fairgrounds. And as recently as January 21st, 2026, the state land office and the Mescalero Apache tribe had a private meeting in Mescalero regarding this exchange. And again, we have no information about this. I know that this is important. It should be important to all of you. Doña County has adopted a 2020 plan, or 2040 plan, I'm sorry, regarding the development of Doña County, and Las Cruces has a plan that's very similar. And it stresses the importance of maintaining our watershed, our arroyo systems, and how important those are to our community. Those arroyo systems collect and save, conserve water, a lot of water for this community. And we just want to know what you know about it. We're in the interest of transparency. We want you to tell us what you know about this process, what is going on. We have a right to know. There are many communities that are going to be affected by this.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Ed Hughes. I live at 5530 Remington Road in Los Alturas. I'm also here about the land exchange, the MOU. I'm going to give a little bit of detail that was already been mentioned, but on September 29, in the Doña County building, there was a meeting between what was called key local stakeholders. And those were the City of Las Cruces, Doña County, NMSU, and local state elected officials. One thing that's glaringly missing from this list are all of the hundreds and hundreds of residents that live out in this area in Los Alturas. And again, we've received no information, and I want to elaborate on that. This proposed land exchange is about 300 acres in size, and it's right in the middle of 7 dark night subdivisions. Once we found out about this meeting in September, and there were 4 departments from the county that were involved. There were the county manager, assistant county manager, the economic development director, and the community development director, which according to the information I have, the community development director actually organized the meeting. Once found out those names, I contacted each one of those offices numerous times by phone, by I even went by personally to the county manager's office, assistant county manager's office in October, and asked for a call. I just want some general information about what's going on. I received zero information. Then when we heard about the MOU that was been supposedly scheduled for this meeting and then moved to March, I again went by last week to the county manager's office, asked for any information I could get on the MOU. They had none. I want to give credit where credit is due. This morning, a young woman named Haley called me from the manager's office about that I'd been there, returned my call. I asked her for information. She had zero. zero information. It is extremely frustrating about the lack of transparency that this county has given its residents. We pay the taxes, we live here, we support you if you support us. And so far, I see none of that. I appreciate Haley's call, and she said she had that the MOU was in the hands of the Apaches, so she had no information. I worked for the federal government for over 40 years, was involved in several MOUs, and usually an MOU, both parties have information about it. Evidently, the county has zero and is waiting on the Apache tribe to tell them what they're going to do. So thank you for listening. The lack of transparency is extremely, extremely frustrating. Thank you.
Thank you. Good
Mr.
morning.
Chairman, Commissioners, thank you for allowing us to speak with you this morning. One of the reasons we wanted to talk with county officials is because we wanted to address issues that we know will come about as a result of a land swap in the A Mountain area. And I want to, since we haven't been able to talk, in someone's office about this yet, I was going to want to quickly outline what some of those issues are. One of them is that this parcel contains substantial portions of the Fillmore Arroyo, which is one of the major arroyos in Las Cruces. There's very little buildable land. In fact, part of this land is labeled as inaccessible by the State Land Office. To use it would require massive earthwork and the development of on-site septic systems and drainage infrastructure that would, because of the upfront cost, it would necessitate intense development to use this parcel. We have a regionally adopted plan, One Valley, One Vision, and it encourages low-impact development and construction, which, quoting from that plan, minimizes land disturbance, preserves natural features, and reduces impervious surfaces to manage stormwater runoff in areas of historic flow. I don't see how you could meet the intention of that plan with this development. The nearest city sewer service is 3 miles from this site, and an on-site septic system would be required on what is now land with steep slopes and important natural drainage into a major arroyo. The applicant themselves have mentioned uses as a large amphitheater, commercial development, and/or a future casino. The only ingress and egress to this parcel is by 2-lane roads, 4 miles. It is 4 miles to a 4-lane road from this parcel, and there are no secondary access. I've looked at the development code, and I don't see how the uses that are anticipated for this could ever meet the noise and lighting portions of that code. And of course, we all know that, and the tribe themselves have said this, they will move this in the direction of being trust land, which means that Doña County will no longer have an impact on what goes, and then by extension, the citizens who live out there won't have be able to address what goes on there. So this parcel just is not suitable for what is being anticipated for it, and we'd like to ask you to consider that in your dealings with the state land.
And if you can, ma'am. Okay. And thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you. Ma'am, I'm sorry. Please, if you don't mind signing in the book. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Commissioners, for allowing us to speak. My name is Barry Papke. I live up in Miners Ridge in Talavera. I can see Las Alturas and Tierra Escondida from my back patio. This facility will be in directly line of sight. I'll see the lights, I'll hear the noise from the amphitheater, and all my neighbors will. I got to be honest with you. To put what's going to be talked about as a casino possibly a racetrack. If it's a casino, there's going to be a hotel, an amphitheater, which is outside, could be used for entertainment. 4 miles from the highway, in the middle of an arroyo, between 7 dark skies neighborhoods. Something stinks about this. Also, in my 45 years as a defense contractor, I have never seen anybody go out and purchase land and then say, well, let's figure out what to do with it. You have a plan, and then you go find land that meets your needs. Now, when Royal Jones bought property up near Oregon Mesa High School, he had to present a master plan both to the state and to the city of Las Cruces, because the city of Las Cruces had to understand the impact on garbage collection, sewers, waters, sidewalk, road building. And here we have our county commission, our county leaders saying they are clueless as to what's about to happen in the county. The fact that they are planning something and you don't know what it is and have no concept of what the infrastructure impact will be suggests either incompetence or corruption. There's no way they can be planning something and the county not have an idea of how it will impact the citizens, the taxes, the infrastructure, our water, our sewage. The lack of transparency absolutely stinks in this. And I hope my emotion lets you know how concerned we are about the fact that we don't believe our county is actually representing us in this matter. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Joe Archuleta, and I live up in Talavera off of Las Padre Mine Road. I'll reiterate one item that was spoken for here recently. I want to express my continued disappointment in the lack of transparency, again, regarding the land swap proposal. What has been the communication and interactions between all of the parties, you know, the state land office, the county, the city, and the Mescalero. We personally haven't heard much about it except at the meetings, and it seems to be after the fact. We know there's a meeting coming up on February 17th, but it's limited to tribal members only. It's in the fine print. And I guess there's other meetings been going on that we're not aware about, and so there's information out there that we should be more aware of. Part of the issue, I think, for us residents that live out in Talavera and Las Alturas is there's no commissioner for District 3 been assigned that I know of, so we don't have that interaction that we used to have. Now, we had heard that the governor's office was going to assign somebody to that position. I'm not sure if that's true, but if that is, again, it's something that gets lost in the Santa Fe politics because they don't really pay attention to us here in the South that I know of. So we'd like to get that fixed as soon as possible and get more representation for us people. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Patricia Lon once again. Hello, I'm here today once again to remind our distinguished commissioners in the room that we're lucky enough and to have present with us to remind them of their legacy for having sold their constituents downriver. Thank you also again to my fellow constituents who stood up before me. It seems like we're getting more of the same on further issues from our county regarding lack of transparency, rushing through business deals, and a general demonstration of incompetence and or corruption. So thank you again for that. I'm really here just to remind you that your constituents haven't forgotten to look you in the eyes as you stare off into space, maybe stare vacantly back at me. Thank you so much for, again, your presence. It really means a lot. Your constituents won't forget, as Project Jupiter is being built, that their air quality and water quality has been sold downriver for all future generations. People are going to be forced to move from their homelands gradually, over the coming decades, unless something is reversed, unless something is stopped, unless this trend of corruption and incompetence is shifted. So just so you know, the wide swath of the people who live in this gray area will remember your names as the ones who voted for this horrendous project, which will cause massive disastrous health impacts, as we've already been over. You've had scientists stand before you, you've had constituents innumerable stand before you and tell you this to your faces, and sort of play in your farce. And I hope that you're able to just sort of like sit with that shame and know that we'll be coming back every meeting to remind you. That's all.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, sir.
I was really just happy to see fire trucks in front of the La Mesa station. Just super happy to see that. So I don't think it's a hidden fact that we live in a day of deception. And with AI, the deception is getting even worse, and it requires a lot of discernment to figure out what's right and what's wrong. A lot of the deception is being pushed by the left, especially the far left. I have some good news, though. When Jim first came in here, he announced himself as a none, an N-O-N-E, as in no religious preference. And he stated some facts to that. Well, the good news is the nuns are dying and Christianity is going up. It's mostly Christian young men that are becoming Christians. But according to Bill McCamley, they're going into the church so that we can turn them into Christian nationalists, into haters. We love on them and then we turn them into haters. That's pretty sad. So I have some quotes here because we've been told that we're not a Christian nation. We got away from praying here audibly. So George Washington, I would believe he's considered a founding father. It is impossible to govern rightly apart from God and the Bible. You do well to wish to learn the arts and ways of life, and above all, the religion of Jesus Christ. Another part, to distinguish character of patriot, it should be your highest glory to add more distinguished character of Christian. The general hopes and trusts that every officer and man will endeavor to live and become as Christian soldiers. The general hopes and trusts of every officer and man to endeavor to live and act as become Christian soldiers. Defend the dearest rights and liberties of his country. John Adams, I believe he's also a founding father. Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to govern any other. Because I'm running out of time, I'm going to go find Thomas Jefferson and Ben Franklin. He's considered like one of the least Christian guys. As to Jesus of Nazareth, my opinion, to whom you particularly desire, I think the system of morals and his religion as he left them to us, the best the world ever saw or is likely to see. God will certainly reward the virtues.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Veith. And don't forget to sign our book if you don't mind. Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners, everyone. My name is Yoli Diaz. Thank you for the opportunity to provide my perspective, my opinion on last week's work session of the Doña County Healthcare Assistance Program proposed changes, the HCAP, which include enacting SB 45. Vice Chair Gomeros, thank you sincerely for the discussion and commitment to improve healthcare to all Doña County residents. Chair Sanchez, thank you for your thought-out questions and comments. As I listen and view the presentation, I recognize the status quo, the continuance of barriers for indigent residents to receive needed health care in Doña County. I think that the top priorities commissioners should focus on are three. Number one, is this person a Doña County resident? Number two, if yes, does this resident reside in a household that has income? Three, if yes, does this resident reside in a household that has income at or below the maximum amount allowed? Some barriers that exist in the Doña County HCAP include limiting healthcare services, requiring tax returns, requiring residents to sign a form, allowing the county to obtain from the IRS a copy of their tax return, including for the previous 2 years, requiring residents to have an SS number or ITIN, and distorting the 8% household income. The Health and Human Services Director stated that the reason Doña County has a clear list of documents for eligibility is because of a past internal audit which was presented to the BOCC in August 2009. The director mentioned that there were a lot of accusations of fraud. None of it was proven. Two things to be thoughtful of: the audit was performed by a professional, and the DA's office, the prosecution, has had issues for as long as I can remember. My serious concerns are what followed, and this includes: one, the strict resolution changes to perpetrate segregation, discrimination, and injustice. Two, in year 2014, MMC's CEO, John Harris, the email that he sent, the annual update, where he said, and the Doña County and City of Las Cruces manager were on the board, and he states, plans for the hospital reveal the need to chart a new course focused on aggressive and immediate expense reduction and revenue enhancement, which is the opposite of providing quality care. In 2015, CFO Raymond Grainer sends an email to County Manager Julia, who shares it with the Health and Human Services Director and Human Resources Director. And the description included discrimination, a cash collection policy, and requirement of paying upfront services that are provided. In year 2016, the elimination of cancer. In 2016, the Alliance Knowing. Both the Health and Human Services Director and Assistant County Manager, who knew of potential illegal actions by MMC, are updating this resolution similar to New Point. How do you expect them to take action to improve and remove barriers when they knew of MMC's wrongdoing?
Thank you, Ms. Diaz. Thank you, Ms. Diaz. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Olga Archuleta, and I'm also from the Talavera area. And I'm sorry, this really bothers me a lot, because I cannot believe that you all sit up here and tell us that you know absolutely nothing. Our roads are going to be torn up. You're the county. We're outside the county. You should know everything. You don't claim you don't. You have meetings. Yesterday, the tribal, Mescalero tribe posted that they were having a meeting. We're all planning to go. All of a sudden, boom, that very specifically says tribal members only. The state land office claims they had nothing to do with that meeting. You all are, I just want to know, are we being represented? Who have you delegated authority for District 3 in the absence of a person? It's very important for us to know that. You're ignoring us. February 17th, one of you needs to be, I suggest you, manager, city manager, or county manager, that you attend that meeting and you start being honest with us and providing the information that we request.
Mr. Chair.
County Manager Andrews, yes.
Hello, everyone. Olga, thank you for your comments and all you spoke during public comment. We don't get in the habit of communicating back during public comment, but I did want to clarify a few things. There have been conversations with Mescalero, so let me start there. There will be an MOU. That MOU will not go to the board until next month. The property that we are discussing with them is not the property near your neighborhood. In fact, we're looking at property out near the fairgrounds that aligns with our GO bond passage recently and some of the priorities from this board. So I don't want to speak on behalf of the Mescalero. That would put us in dangerous territory. The meeting of the 17th, we can find out more. But I do want to share with you that we are looking into a partnership with them, an MOU. That property is not near your neighborhood. I love your neighborhood. I'm out in Dripping Springs every weekend. The conversations that we are having with them are regarding the fairgrounds and the potential of working with the amphitheater out there. So that's all I'll speak to at this point, but I did want to clear the air a little bit on that topic. I hope that's okay, Mr. Chair.
Absolutely, thank you, Commissioner. Well, I'm sorry, sir.
Is having a meeting on February the 21st, Sunday, February 21st, at the Talavera Fire Station at 6 p.m. I would invite any of you to actually come speak to our community, to show that they're being represented, to show that their representatives are taking their interest at heart. Any of you do that, the meeting notice is on the Talavera Community Association website. And I put my phone number, feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Along those same lines with the county manager, I did want to address a couple things I think that were brought up during public input. And I guess we're on to, I guess we'll say we're on to commission input at this point. So, number one, yes, as far as I know, I haven't gotten an update specifically on the, thank you, the District 3 vacancy. I do know that they're in the process, or the governor's in the process of, I think, doing interviews and going to be doing an appointment as per the state constitution. So it is her responsibility to do that appointment. It is in process. I don't have a date on when that will be done. I will encourage those residents of District 3 to understand that, yes, while there is a vacancy, you all are still represented. There are still 4 other commissioners that you can reach out to, the county staff. Just because we represent one district does not mean we do not represent any other people in the county. So I just want to at least open that offer to you reaching out to me and or any other commissioner. The second item I think was on the item being removed from an agenda. And just so we're very understanding of this, when we have our agenda and it's published, sometimes some of the agenda items that are there may be a decision where, in this case, we had the Mescalero who are working towards that. We're not ready to move forward with that. And so with that being said, that was removed as a request from the agenda. And sometimes that happens with our meetings. So, you know, we haven't had discussion. All 4 currently, but the Board of County Commissioners cannot meet earlier on to have discussions, and many times we don't, so that we don't violate the Open Meetings Act. And so just understand at least some of that when we say we don't know what's going on or some of these get pulled, it's just one of those items where they weren't ready for approval yet. The other item, and I know as the county manager had indicated that this was on a different property, but just also understand that sometimes, like in the case like this for the land swap, I'm just speaking for myself and just from my experience as a commissioner, being that that's being done through the state land office and the Mescalero Apache, our input at the county level is very limited. It's not something we have direct control over, and that's the part that, yes, we're trying to be informed of understanding what's going on, but other than providing input, we don't have a vote in what happens because the state land office and their process will manage that piece. And so I'm sorry, sir, this is what it is. I can't, just like the other jurisdictions that we have around the county, whether it's EBID, the cities that are in the county and other things, we don't have jurisdiction over those areas. Same thing with the federal lands. We just do not have, and so that's the part that we do not have an input on. So I understand, Matt, no, I'm sorry, I understand that you're bothered and upset, but I'm just trying to tell you the truth. I'm telling you the truth in what our process is in this. And that's just, I can't tell you anything more than that's what our process or our role in the process is. And for, I think the accusations that we're being not transparent and understanding, that may be the feeling that you have, but we just don't have a say in this process because it's at the state level. Even if a commission or anybody else, or say as a commission, we didn't approve it or didn't like it, we can't stop it because it's the state level. And once it transfers over, it's not county land still. So just understand, like I said, us county commissioners are willing to, if you have concerns, please raise them up. I know you don't have a District 3 commissioner at this point. But like I said, please feel free to reach out to the rest of the commission. And, we can, I'm sure, try to have as much of a conversation as we can. So, thank you. Well,
Mr. Chair.
Yes, please.
So we were just up in Santa Fe, not last week, but I was up there the week before, and we were having amazing conversations with Representative Dorian Gallegos, who is supporting you in this mission, right? And as far as it goes with influence, and just to speak on this, and like County Manager Andrew said, we usually don't answer public comment like this, but I think it's important because I think there is a narrative that needs to be corrected. But by us having these conversations about the fairgrounds is our way of supporting you in the mission of making sure that whatever facility is being planned doesn't happen in that backyard. That's what we're doing, is trying to make sure that we give them other options in our community that will best serve, one, our residents, but also you all. And Representative Gallegos is really excited about this as well. We've talked about it. We've had these conversations. So the influence that we have, we are using. Or else we wouldn't be talking about the fairgrounds today. We wouldn't be talking about what the future of this project could be. But Chair Sanchez, I think you put it beautifully. I really think you hit all the discussion points, but I think there is a narrative being happened. There is a conversation being happened. And I think that there's some excitement over other options. So that's kind of where our influence is trying to make sure that we're providing other options that maybe best suit the people of our region, if you will. So,
thank you.
But other comments about what's going on, and I know that Gloria, you're going to speak to this here in a minute as well, but I know that we have a lot of different community meetings about rec and outdoor recreation and kind of the future of those happening this week as well as next week. So please check out our social media and our emails and our Facebook and our websites for all those meetings going on to figure out exactly what's going on in our communities for outdoor rec, indoor rec, sports fields, all that kind of great stuff. I think it's really exciting, and I'm really happy to see that finally moving forward. And also I want to say thank you to County Manager Andrews and our ACMs and our staff for everything they've been doing during this session. I know that we've been up there countless times. Commissioner Sanchez or Chair Sanchez, I know that you have been going up at a moment's notice to go up and talk to people during the 30-day session. It is a constant thing that we're doing to make sure that we're advocating for what's best for our communities up in Santa Fe, working with our legislators, having those conversations. So I just want to say thank you to staff for definitely rearranging and driving up in a moment's notice, doing the quick 10-hour turnaround and driving all the way back the same night. So I just appreciate that. I know we're doing some great work up there, and we're advocating as much as we can to make sure that we're bringing those resources here and bringing those high ticket items to everyone's, to the forefront of everyone's mind in Santa Fe. NMSU Day was yesterday. There was a huge turnout. So I want to say thank you for everyone as well. Just really highlighting the great things that we're doing down here in southern New Mexico, the great opportunities. I know Russell went up yesterday to talk about what's going on in Mesilla, or no, he went up early this morning. So everyone is going up. It's great to just get that synergy going, and I just want to say thank you to staff.
Thank you, Commissioner Charles Hernandez. Vice Chair Gomez, do you have any input?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you both for saying what you had to say. This is a tough subject, and I am glad that you guys both gave clarification, and I understand that we are missing that individual in District 3, and unfortunately, it's not to us right now to wait for this individual to be appointed. Again, we don't know when the governor is going to appoint this individual, but in the meantime, I did give those people in that area my card, so, please reach out to me, and so then that way we can go ahead and even if you want to have a little meeting with me, I'm more than willing to have a listening session as well, and, put our heads together and see how we can maybe get more representation with the legislative individuals. So with that said, I thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioner Chaparro, do you have any commission input?
I do. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you to all the public that came and presented to the board. I think it's so important that you are being represented. I did speak with a couple of you from the Remington area. Mr. Romero, you were very kind and explained your position to me a couple of weeks ago. So I really appreciate you all reaching out to me. Mr. Romero, you have my number, and please share it with the other constituents that are concerned. I want everyone to please remember that we're here and we're listening, but what concerns me is the mention time after time of non-transparency. And I can speak for myself. I will try to be more transparent and give more information. I think I've been very productive on that issue. And I spoke with County Manager last week, I believe on Friday, and that was one of the subjects that we touched upon, is being more transparent, keeping the residents, all of you, more informed as to what the county is doing. Sometimes we're moving so quickly, but I think we're going to move forward in a better way to inform our residents, because, and I can't remember who said it this morning, we do represent you, and we should represent you, and we should be your voice. So thank you for all that, all of you that attended this morning. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Chaparro. I just had a couple of other inputs. As I know Commissioner Shells Hernandez had noted the input, and I know we're going to have a presentation in a little bit about the Parks and Rec Master Plan. We're going to be having one today at the Radium Springs Community Center off of Lindbeck Road. It's going to be from 4 to 6 p.m. this afternoon. So I'd like to invite everybody out to come give some input and what you'd like to see for the future of parks and recreation in the county. So really, really important, and especially in the outlying areas outside of the cities and municipalities, because as we have our GO bond money, we're trying to figure out where best we can put these potential areas as we build out more of parks and recreation. I know we've already announced the recreation centers and had some input sessions on those in Hatch and Doña and in Anthony. So I'm excited for that. Also, as Commissioner Hernandez had noted, I did have a trip up to Santa Fe last week, meeting with our legislators, particularly around our capital outlay funding. One of the things that's been really different this past year is that we had a significantly reduced ICIP project list than we had in the past. And a lot of that was tied to us trying to get focus on some of these projects so we can start really knocking them off with the support of our legislators. And then that way, some of the smaller projects that may have been on there, we were looking to fund with our reserves. And so that way we can try to make sure we're starting to really get more traction and complete projects in a faster way. And that way we're not continuing to have the same ICIP projects on our ICIP list. And so for those that don't know, as I realize I'm talking our ICIP, it's our Infrastructure and Capital Improvement Plan or projects. So those lists that we have that we specifically go to ask for capital outlay from our legislators, this is the list they look at and choose from. So, but I had an amazing trip, got to meet with nearly all of our delegation from Doña County, and appreciate every one of those legislators who made time for me and to speak and discuss those items. So, but thank you all. And if there are no other commission input at this time, I'll move it over to county elected officials input. Good morning, Madam Assessor.
Good morning, Chair Sanchez, Vice Chair Gameros, Commissioners Chaparro, Shelja Hernandez, Gina Eugenia Montoya Ortega, Assessor here at Doña County. I just wanted to reach out to our customers again, just let them know we are currently working on our values so that we can send out our notices of value. Normal mail out date for your notices of value are April 1. We have a little issue that we'd like to try to extend that possibly to May. So we're working with the state to see if they will grant us that extension. Otherwise, notices of value will be sent out April 1 as usual. I'd like to give a little shout out to all of our staff. They're working really, really hard. Like, people do not understand that the assessor's office is not like other elected offices. We don't ever have a downtime. We basically, ours is a bump, all keep going. We don't have an up and a down. So our front staff is currently working on taking percentage certificates from our disabled veterans, or their $10,000 certificates for the exemptions. We have people coming in to file their paperwork for valuation freezes. We have our staff in the back, the appraisers, like I said, are working on the values. So just all our staff in our office is working very, very hard to get what we got to get done. Once again, any of the taxpayers that have any questions, please come to our office. If you think, is there an exemption for me of some sort, reach out. We're here to help. Once again, we tell people a lot of times what they don't want to hear, but it's what it is. We follow the state law, we follow the statutes. And once again, please, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to our office. We are here to help serve. Thanks.
Thank you so much. All right, then we'll move on now to staff input.
I'm going to keep our comments pretty brief today, but I see Mr. Lopez heading up to the mic. Commissioners, as I shared, we had a pretty good update with BLM not too long ago. So I asked Stephen to give an update on that.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Madam Vice Chair, and Commissioners. Stephen Lopez, Assistant County Manager, and as Scott just alluded to, we met with a number of individuals from the Bureau of Land Management last week, and the intent of the meeting was to bring them up to speed on the ICIP projects that will be impacting BLM land, where we're going to need BLM support, especially for land transfers that might be related to affordable housing projects, road systems like High Mesa Road, the Arroyo Rinconada Ingler Regional Connector System, and even Slumbering Mountains Cemetery, which they didn't realize might have some burials on their own property. So the big outcome from that is BLM has limited staff, and they are very excited and anxious both about all of the things that the county has going on. In order to actually work through these things in a timely manner, they will likely be asking for financial support from the county to hire on some project managers on their side to be able to especially look at all of the documents that will be related to environmental and historical preservation studies that we'll have to do along roadway corridors and things like that. So we will likely be bringing back some documents for you. We're awaiting getting those actual documents from the BLM on what they call a master agreement to where we can lump all these projects into one big project for the county. And then that will also have, we're estimating right now about $250,000 ask for those project managers to support BLM. So just wanted to let you all know this is the first meeting we've had since that meeting with BLM. It's very exciting that they want to work with the county and they see the really positive benefits that can come from all of these projects. The other item for staff input, just wanted to touch on the Mescalero MOU. It is with the Mescalero, as was noted earlier during public comment, and as was also noted, they do have their meeting with tribal members on February 17th. One thing that has not been disclosed yet, but happy to let everybody know, is after that tribal meeting, they will have their governance meeting on February 27th. That's where they will actually make decisions on what elements might be in the final MOU. And then that would come back to the county at the March 10th meeting for the board to consider. So it's not moving quite as fast as we had hoped. The focus is specifically on the amphitheater. I can say for myself and from County Manager Andrews, we have definitely encouraged the Mescalero to look at opportunities out on the West Mesa. And we will find out now in the next month if that is indeed where the tribe wants to go. We don't have, Mr. Chair, as you noted, we don't have decision authority over the land swap that they proposed back in 2024 with the State Land Office. The county's next opportunity to really make decisions related to that would be if they seek permits, building permits, road access permits, and things like that. That would come under the county's purview to issue those unless it has become trust land. The trust land process, though, is not quick. So for at least a period of years, that would be under the county's purview. So just wanted to share that information and where we're at with that, and happy to answer any questions that the commissioners might have.
Thank you. Commissioner, any questions?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead, Vice Chair, please.
just for clarification, Stephen, right? The MOU that you're speaking about with the Mescaleros, that has to do with the fairgrounds area.
Madam Vice Chair, you are correct. That is specific to the fairgrounds. We started the discussion about the amphitheater because they had mentioned that they might want to look at an amphitheater. Everybody, I think, realizes, two amphitheaters in one market, likely not going to succeed. An amphitheater in a residential area without adequate roads, likely not going to succeed. The county really got strong support from our voters for improving or building the amphitheater out at the fairgrounds. So we did invite the Mescalero to participate with us in that design process and possibly in an operations agreement. So that is the intent of the MOU, is to kind of start defining how that partnership might work.
Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Chaparro, do you have any questions?
I do. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just going back to the meeting scheduled for February 27th, Stephen, I was writing and I missed what kind of meeting that was. A governmental meeting, is that correct?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Chaparro, on February 27th, the Mescalero Tribe's governing body will be meeting. And now that we know that they're having a meeting on the 17th with tribal members to seek input, and this is just a guess on my side, my guess is they will be taking that input and then looking at how that might feed into the MOU.
All right, so another question as a follow-up regarding this governing body meeting, will that be open to the public if the public wishes to attend to gather more information?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Chaparro, I have no idea about the governance structure of the Mescalero Apache tribe, if their meetings are normally open or not. I apologize for not knowing.
Might we be able to find out, so if our residents wish to attend, they would have that information and time and place as well?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Chaparro, I'm happy to reach out to them and ask if it is going to be open, and if so, how people might be able to participate either in person or remotely.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the responses.
Thank you, Commissioner Chaparro. Thank you, Mr. Lopez.
Thank you very much.
Mr.
Oh, sorry.
Chair? No,
Vice
I
Chair
just
Gomez.
want to know how will the public know whether they can or cannot participate? Can we put that on the website that they can probably go on there? Or do you want them to be calling here to find out?
Madam Chair, Mr. Chair, Madam Vice Chair, if they follow us on our Doña County social media, we will make sure that our PIO team puts that out. But certainly then we'll also make that information available through the county manager's front office staff.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lopez.
And just one last item there regarding the Mescalero. If these meetings continue to proceed in this fashion, I've already planted seeds with a few of you to consider having a joint board retreat with them should we continue to go down this path. So obviously, we'll be as transparent as possible, and I just want to say that out loud so everyone in the audience is aware. We'll make sure to keep you in the loop, and as Stephen Lopez shared, we'll share that information on our social media channels as well. That's all for today, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you don't mind, I think one of the things I did want to add, I think we're down to the last 12 days of Skate Doña. So if anybody is still interested in going out to our skating rink, I know the hours are posted on our social media, and I believe the last day of ice skating will be on Sunday, February 22nd, out at the fairgrounds. Okay. All right, commission appointed report backs from boards. Any updates from the commission? I did just have one. We did have an SCRTD meeting the last week of January. Not a lot of, just, I think the only thing we really did in that meeting was approve and budget changes to the current year budget or amendments of the current year budget, our annual renewal of our annual approvals of like our safety plan and some of these other pieces. But I think one of the things that was really exciting that we discussed was maybe the potential for the Green Power Motor Company that's going to be moving, building out, or not building out, but moving into Santa Teresa. One of the things that we had discussed is that I think with the state having the agreements for economic development or economic incentives is that they have to provide, they'll be part of the state or have state pricing for their products, which would include school buses, cargo vans, and things like that, that the state would enter an agreement to possibly purchase. My hope was, as I think we discussed, was maybe there's an opportunity for SCRTD as they continue to grow out their fleet to be able to take advantage of the pricing if it's favorable to what we've seen in the past. But what was noted, and I don't know if this is true, is that they're supposed to have, I think in the near future, some event down at the SCRTD to show what they manufacture and learn a little more about the company. And so I think the SCRTD down in Sunland Park will be potentially the site that they invite people to come and see those things. In addition, I don't know if this is true, but they had indicated while they're still waiting on federal approval for some of their designs in the US because they are a Canadian company, there was some potential that we had talked about maybe finding a joint partnership with SCRTD of maybe having them allowing us to our, the SCRTD to drive them and work with them on a pilot project as they work for some of that, so that way we can build that partnership here in Doña County and our bus system. So stay tuned. Hopefully that might that'd be really great if we can come up with some way to partnership, but still a great opportunity to find what with the potential with our new tenants that are coming into Santa Teresa. Commissioner Chaparro, did you have any board reports?
No, my first board meeting will be on Wednesday. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, Vice Chair Gamidos, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So last night I had my career board meeting, and what I learned last night was that at the Mesa Verde, the Mesa Verde area, the Meadow Vista subdivision, for the past 2 months, there's been an ongoing leak. It's been a minimal amount, but they've been trying to isolate the leak, and they still haven't been able to. They're looking into one more area to see about isolating it. If in the possibility they cannot isolate that leak, they're going to have to do a shutdown of that subdivision on the water. And when they do that, it's going to be at night, from 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. Since, there's very minimal water usage at that time. And it's just going to be that one night time. And that's just in case they do have to do that if they can't seem to isolate the water leak. The other thing that I did learn was also recently there was a 300,000 gallon spillage sewage spillage from the Mexican side which obviously comes into the Anapra area through the fencing, the wall. But CRUA was notified, and they went out there. EPA, they notified them as well. CRUA went out there to help out with the situation, and they did disinfect the area. And that's all I have to report. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Gameros. All right. We're moving on to presentations portion of our agenda. This is item number 6, an introduction and update on parks, recreation, and community centers master plan. And we have joining us Ms. Gloria Maldonado.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, and Commissioners Sergio Hernandez and Commissioner Chaparros. My name is Gloria Maldonado. I am the Executive Administrative Assistant for the County Manager's Office. I'm here to present Ms. Allison Long. She is the Senior Planner for Site Southwest. She is currently working on our Parks, Recreation, Community Centers, and Trails Master Plan. Ms. Long is going to share some updates on the project and answer any questions you all may have. And with that, I will give the floor to Ms. Allison.
Thank you, Gloria. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Gloria. Good morning, Chair and Commission. My name is Allison Long. I work for Site Southwest. I'm very excited to be here. You guys are having this big moment with Parks and Rec, and I would like to give you not only an introduction, but also a little bit of a project update of where we've been to date. All right, I will introduce my team. I'm not doing this alone. Revisit that scope of work, tell you a little bit about the approach that we've started developing as part of this plan, give you that progress update, and then give you what are our next steps over the next month or two. All right, so I work for Site Southwest. What's fun about this project is it brings both sides of our house together. So we have landscape architecture and planning rooted in sustainability and driven by community. So I have some landscape architects and designers, and my number 2, Ali Kasky, who is also a planner on this. They are driving here as we speak, and we are kicking off a lot of public engagement, like you mentioned, Chair Sanchez. All right, so what is going to be included in this plan? It's quite a lot of things, but at a high level, it's going to be vision, goals, and objectives for the county for the future of your investment, whether it's the bond money or other investments in the future. We'll be going over existing conditions, the state of the network today. We'll be doing quite a lot of community engagement, and I'll touch on that in more detail later in the presentation. Then we'll go into a needs assessment. So what is on the ground in the county today? What are some of those gaps, and how would we recommend filling it? And then we will also have sort of an implementation plan, which you could consider action steps for the county moving forward. All right, a little bit about our approach. So we are starting to think of your community centers, your trails, your parks, your news centers, all as a network. However, we know Doña County is a big county, it's rural, your communities are spread out. And so under those constraints, what is realistic for developing this network over time? So we are focusing on sort of what are considered regional amenities and what are local amenities. Regional amenities, I like to say, these are the Costco of Parks and Rec. So what are some of those things that residents might be willing to drive a little further for? And then really honing in on what are those amenities that they want in their neighborhood that meet day-to-day needs. Also, as a part of our approach, we will be looking at equity and access. So what are those special needs populations in the county? What programs and services do they currently have? And then perhaps what are some improvements or recommendations in those areas as well, across the county and across different amenity types. All right, so I am here today kicking off 3 days of community engagement. So I wanted to acknowledge that we luckily do not have to start from scratch. County staff and other consultants have come before us, which is great. It means this plan can move further faster. So that has been a pleasure. Also, as a part of our community engagement approach is that not only we are, of course, looking at current users, we want to know what they think about the amenities and facilities and programs that they're already utilizing, but we also want to look for potential users. So for people who may or might not be using county amenities currently, we want to kind of seek them out, whether it's at schools or community college or different community events, and kind of get their input as well to see why aren't they using the county facilities currently. So part of our approach, we will have a variety of different touch points and opportunities for the community to give input. Everything from small focus groups. We are going to a variety of senior lunches this week. We are having those more traditional large evening events where we will have food and activities for people to give input in person. Of course, we know not everyone can make these in-person events, so there will also be a variety of virtual options. And then we will also be attending pre-existing community events, going to places where people already gather so they don't even have to come to us, and trying to make it as easy as possible to spread the word about this plan and give them an opportunity to weigh in. Real quick, what has been done to date? So we did have site visit number 1 in October of last year. We did get out and visit every single county site, whether it was a park, community center, boxing club, and we've been doing staff interviews since then. I believe you've received a copy of our draft existing conditions report. And now, like I mentioned, we are embarking on site visit number 2 for 3 days. I will say we were not able to visit every single center on this 3-day trip. So we will be returning in about 2 weeks, I believe, to hit those centers and groups that we weren't able to on this trip. So stay tuned for that. All right, and this will be my last slide for you all. So what can you expect in the next month or two? So after we do the bulk of our community engagement, we will do a community report back. So we helped a little bit with some of the engagement related to the new centers. We put up a community input dashboard that's displaying the results of the input that was received. So of course we want to do this for documentation purposes, but then we also want to give the community the opportunity to say, hey, actually you got this wrong, or you didn't quite hear us right on this item. And so it creates an opportunity for some feedback loops. Next, we will move to some draft recommendations and prioritization of county investment moving forward, whether it's in the existing centers or those new centers. And then once we get a little further down the road, we would love to come back, have a working session with the board. You represent your constituents and are the experts as well in your communities. Make sure that we are getting this plan headed in the right direction. Then we will, of course, go and post it for public comment, spread the word wide and far for people to give that input, and that will be all before the formal adoption process. So hopefully we have a lot of opportunity for input and refinement. And that's all I have for you today, and I stand for questions.
Thank you, Ms. Long. Are there any questions, comments?
Yes.
Commissioner Chaldro Hernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you. I hope you're ready for what's coming your way. I just have a couple questions. So one is kind of, and I guess I would have to really dive deep into the RFP to understand this, but the way that I'm kind of understanding is that you all are going to kind of go out into the community, find out exactly what is, kind of highlight what's missing, highlight what's there, highlight the wants and the needs for each community that we have. And then from that, you're going to come up with the master plan that says, you know, this is the direction that we want to go. This is how we can best make the biggest impact in our communities to kind of bring those certain amenities everywhere. With that being said, too, we've been talking about kind of like one part of it is fee structures and stuff like that. Do you all kind of give us some guidelines on that as well, especially when you're looking at kind of the equity and access for things?
That's a great question. So one piece of our report that we haven't brought to you just yet, we'll be looking at some peer communities around the country that have filled out the National Recreation and Parks Association annual survey. And so that has all sorts of great data around programs that have fees. What are those fees? What kind of staffing do they have at rec centers? How many parks per resident do they have? How many miles of trails per resident? And so we are going to really hone in on some of those metrics as well. That was not included in that first report. But yes, we will definitely be looking at that, and we have already, received some input around that topic as well. So we know that that's a high area of interest for residents.
Yeah, and I think that's amazing that you're going to be able to kind of look at the national standard. It's funny, I was just talking about this with some really great friends that are from Empire, Michigan, so right outside of kind of the Twin Cities type area, and they go to the natatorium in Cruces every week or several times a week while they're down here to go swimming and do laps and work out and stuff like that. And they were talking about the fees, and for seniors, it's $3 to get in. And they were just so blown away by the fact that it's, $3 to go in and you can take classes and all those kind of things. So I think that's something that we in Southern New Mexico are really proud of, is the fact that we're accessible to everyone. So I just want to put that on your radar because it wasn't necessarily on my radar until I engaged in that conversation. And also I just want to kind of talk about, after we do these community meetings and we kind of talk about what the needs are in these communities, and we'll be in, I think La Mesa is on tomorrow. We're in La Mesa.
That sounds right.
Yeah. And my La Mesa ladies are going to absolutely love you. But they look at generational needs. They want to keep their grandkids in La Mesa or somewhere nearby. So I think kind of when you're looking at access and, existing conditions versus kind of where we want to go, I think that's such a great community to see how they advocate for themselves. So I'm just really excited. This is something that I think really gets me motivated, especially when looking at the regional amenities and, not having to drive 35 minutes into Las Cruces or 35 minutes into Sunland Park, El Paso to take your kids swimming or take your kids to a field that actually has grass to practice on or something like that. So I'm so grateful that you're down here and you're going to be working with us in our communities, because I think they're excited and this is so long overdue. So I'm glad we're able to do it. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Sheldon Hernandez. Vice Chair Gameros?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I was wondering, has Anthony, the center there, has that been visited yet?
I don't believe this time we're visiting Anthony. We are visiting the Women's Intercultural Center in Anthony. So kind of speaking a little bit to how can we reach people who may not necessarily be using those centers currently, but we can visit it maybe on our next trip.
Okay, because I think on the flyer it states that there's a visit, unless I'm
Oh, is it a
mistaken.
senior lunch, like a daytime?
Yeah, daytime at
Oh,
10
okay.
o'clock. There's a,
Okay.
and that's on Thursday, the 12th, at 10 o'clock, the Anthony Center, the community center there, right, the senior center. I'm just, I just want you to be prepared, or whoever goes. Only, no, I mean, be
Please.
prepared because we're going to need interpretation there for Spanish speakers. The majority of the people there, you're going to meet the elderly, and they're there for lunch. And so you're going to need that. Be prepared for that, so that way you can have really good communication. They will let you know what they're going to need and want. And then also at 4 o'clock on Thursday is going to be at the Women's Intercultural Center. And there you'll get a mix of people as well. I think you'll probably get more people at the 10 o'clock, but hopefully we can get people to show. And the reason I was just asking if it was a part of the assessment yet, the site visit, if that was a part of the draft assessment.
The first site visit?
Yeah,
Or
the
this
site
one?
visit, yeah, the first time site visit.
Some of that is in the existing conditions. That's sort of laying out what exists in the network currently.
Right, but has it been visited yet? Was that part of the October one or not yet?
So we were able to visit all of them outside. That is one that we weren't able to visit inside.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, inside, all right, thank you for that. I think that's it, thank you.
Yes, and if I could please respond, Vice Chair, we will be having interpretation at every single one of our events because we 100% know some people would rather communicate in Spanish. So we're
Okay.
happy to work with the county on that.
All right, so you're looking at about maybe 40 plus people.
Great.
Okay.
That's amazing.
For that morning.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vice Chair Gameros. Commissioner Chaparro, did you have any questions or comments?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No, I'd like to thank Commissioner Gameros and Commissioner Shelter Hernandez for asking all the questions that I was going to ask. But aside from that, Ms. Long, if you would please reach out to me so that the site visit in my district, we can work on establishing a date and time for that. I would appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Chaparro. I know, Ms. Long, I was going to ask, I think I think you kind of answered a little bit of my question with Commissioner Sergio Hernandez, is where I think in terms of, bringing in kind of the national standards, I think one of the things that I would be interested in too is maybe hearing suggestions or ideas that we just don't have here, that maybe some other places have. I know this is, not saying this is what we want necessarily, but it was even suggested, I think, at some point where someone had mentioned, like, some of our flood area, our drainage areas, and I know my friends at the Flood Commission probably don't want to hear this, but it was suggested that in some of the other areas where when it's not wet, no rain in the forecast, that they use their drainage or ponding areas for like Frisbee golf, because it's just usually large swaths of land that we don't do much with. And I know in like the village of Doña, where we were partnering with the Flood Commission as well as a community group to create a recreation space around that ponding area, and that's kind of a first for us in Doña County. So I'd love to see, if you have suggestions, ideas, in addition to the input that we have from our community members, just trying to think out, outside the box of how do we bring more to the community. And as Commissioner Shelter Hernandez mentioned, I think not having to drive so far into the cities or some of those areas, how do we create accessibility within our communities? I think and I know I represent, and probably I think all of us have some level of colonias and those communities where they have been underserved, and so trying to create these spaces where they can the community members can go and recreate will be awesome, because I think I've seen in some of them where we have spaces, but we haven't had the infrastructure to like have grass or things like that. So other ideas that we could do to make sure we make those accessible, that'd be amazing to hear from you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chair Sanchez. And I know I'm from Albuquerque, but I also used to visit San Antonio a lot, and a lot can be done also around like drainage canals, right? Like trail systems, recreation. So your example of the flood area is definitely top of mind. Multi-use spaces are the most sustainable. If you can use them for different purposes, it reduces infrastructure. So absolutely,
Awesome.
we'll be looking into things like that.
And I think as you said, I think one of the things I did forget to mention earlier when I made talking about Radiant Springs, I think you all today will be at the community center for the senior lunches at 12:30 in the village of Doña as well.
Correct.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing kind of seeing where this goes and really the community input piece of it. So thank you so much.
Oh, lastly, and if you need a volunteer to do like the slides and stuff like that, I definitely volunteer to test all those out, as they should be tested out. So
I thought you were meaning PowerPoint slides, but
nope, wrong slides. Wrong slides. I want nothing to do with the PowerPoint slides.
Yes, I have heard the phrase the largest water slide in New Mexico, so we'll see what we can do.
I didn't put that on your radar, but I love that.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate it. Look forward to hearing more from you. Okay. The next item on our agenda is number 7. It's regular meeting minutes for January 27th, 2026, and for the work session from February 3rd, 2026. If I can get a motion in a second to begin discussion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Commissioner Sergio Hernandez, a second by Vice Chair Gameros. Commissioners, are there any changes to those meeting minutes? Okay, not hearing or seeing any, so Brandy, I'd like to ask for a roll call on agenda item number 7, please.
Commissioner Sheljo Hernandez.
Yes.
Commissioner Chaparro.
Yes.
Vice Chair Gameros.
Yes.
Chair Sanchez.
Yes. Those minutes are approved from January 27th and February 3rd. All right, under approvals, we'll jump back to agenda item number 2, which is a resolution authorizing the county manager to enter into a road exchange agreement with the New Mexico Department of Transportation for certain roads. I think a motion and a second so we can begin discussion on item number 2, please.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Commissioner Sheljo Hernandez, a second by Vice Chair Gameros. With that, we turn it over to Mr. Dan Zambrano. Good morning.
This has been going on for about 8 years now. And so the mileage we're trading with the state is they're gonna take over Spaceport Road, which is about 21 miles, and then we're taking over about 7 miles of in-road county for them. And the reason it took so long is that those 7 miles were in a little bit of rough shape, so the state had to bring them up. So that's how come it's taken so long. They're finally done, and so we're ready to make the switch. So it's a 3-to-1 switch for us.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Commissioner Sheljo
I
Hernandez.
just have one question for you. So these roads are up to county standard currently?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the lifespan is how long?
The lifespan, if they just did all their maintenance, about 15 years, 10 to 15 years lifespan on them. And the Spaceport Road has been about 8 years, so they're gonna have to do some maintenance in about 2 to 3 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, not nice, but okay. Glad that there's some life on those roads. Thank you, sir.
Okay, and I know there's the full list of roads that we have, so just for clarity, New Mexico 158, which is Lujano Hill Road from Valley Drive to Doña Road. New Mexico 292, Roadrunner Lane from Motel to West Picacho. New Mexico 372, which is Snow Road from Union to the Mesilla Dam Road. New Mexico 374, Mesilla Dam Road from Snow Road to the River Levee Road. New Mexico 436, Loma Padre Road from New Mexico 187 to Two Counties Road. And I think those were the full list that we're doing the exchange for. And I know a lot of these are kind of, I know some of these are kind of smaller, and I'm actually surprised that some of them were still considered state highways, but.
Yes, and also a lot of these roads are, like, we own part of them, and it's just the continuation. So it's not like we're going out of our way for any kind of maintenance on any of them or anything. They're continuations of sections we already have.
Okay. All right, commissioners, are there any questions on this agenda item?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Chaparro, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Zambrano, good morning. You answered the question before I asked it regarding the continuance of the sections that the county already has. And I appreciate the brief presentation. I'm not aware who is joining, but I did have a couple of questions from constituents, and I just wanted to assure that any questions were addressed. So the question I did have was addressed, so thank you, Mr. Zambrano. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Chaparro. Yeah, and I'm really surprised, I think, as it was noted, that this is, I know this has taken some time. It's been, I think that was part of, I don't know how long this has been talking about the exchange, so I'm looking forward to being able to do this, and the maintenance for actually these roads that I think are closer to our populations, and switching that over with the Spaceport Road to our friends at NMDOT.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
All right.
And this was initiated by the state.
Great. All right. Are there any other comments, questions from the commission? Any public input on this approval item? Okay. All right, with that, Gloria, if you can, Gloria, sorry. I apologize, Brandy.
I don't mind at all.
If we can do a roll call on agenda item number 2, please.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Sheljo Hernandez.
Yes.
Commissioner Chaparro.
Yes.
Vice Chair Gameros.
Yes.
Chair Sanchez.
Yes.
That does have a resolution number. The resolution number is 2026-20.
Thank you, Brandy.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're jumping back under agenda item number 8 to approve a new quality of life and recreation manager position for the county manager to meet the strategic needs of the county. If I can get a motion and a second to begin discussion, please.
Mr. Chair, can we do 8 and 9 together?
Sure. I think the agenda item number 9 is to approve new government relations positions for the county manager to also to meet the strategic needs of the county. So then I guess I'll ask for a motion to approve agenda items number 8 and 9 for approval on both items.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve number 8, the quality of life and recreation manager, as well as item number 9, the government relations position.
I second it.
Okay. I have a motion and a second to consider and approve agenda items 8 and 9 jointly. All right. So with that, County Manager Andrews?
Yeah, thank you. Excuse me. The first position here is listed as the Quality of Life and Recreation Manager position. You may recall you saw a similar one go before you not too long ago. That was our attempt at trying to space these out, make sense of the process, and not ask for positions until we absolutely knew we needed them. We're finding through this process, and you just heard on the Parks and Rec Master Plan, things take a little time. So we have both of the major rec sites slightly identified. We'll have those appraisals and information coming back to you in the weeks and months ahead. But saying that there's a lot of work to do. We're getting in the rec business officially, so we'll be looking for an additional rec manager position. And even with that, I will likely be pulling people from other areas over the next few months as we identify the needs, because we're not going to hire 17 rec positions overnight. We're going to have to work at this methodically. So this is that effort playing out. So we'll be looking at the second rec manager position, and the additional position here is the government relations position. So as you all know from our trips to Santa Fe recently, 2 or 3 of us, we give Lucio and Stephen a lot of credit for doing a lot of heavy lifting, but we've gone back and forth to DC. We'll have a second trip to DC here in a few weeks, and Santa Fe multiple times. So this is following in the model that Bernco, Sandoval, and some of the other large counties have. They have a dedicated government relations specialist that will report to one of the assistant county managers. So this sets the stage so we're getting role specific, because right now we have budget people helping with recreation. You heard Gloria, who is one of our lead people in the manager's office, helping with recreation. We have people helping with the ice rink that help with finance. So right now we're all wearing a lot of hats. So trying to get everyone back in their roles and grow strategically. And that is all, and I'll pause for questions, sir.
Thank you, County Manager Andrews. I see Commissioner Sergio Hernandez. You have your mic on.
I just want to say that I'm really excited to see these on the approval for today. And I think after the conversations that were being had this morning about the Mescalero land swap, I think that government relations position would be the exact right moment to kind of tap them in to make sure that we are working better with our non-governmental affairs or non-government partners, as well as our government partners. I know that after our last couple trips up to Santa Fe, as well as our trip to DC, having those conversations about, desalinization and High Mesa Road and all these recreational centers that we're looking at putting in, I really do see the need for that government relations person. It's going to be absolutely needed. The more that we're growing, the more that we see these kind of things going on, especially partnerships with NMSU, the city of Las Cruces, all the municipalities that we have here in Doña County, which is quite a few. I'm just excited to see that we'll have that go-to person to kind of tap in on these projects, to kind of have those conversations and to make sure that we're keeping a thumb under everything going on. And then for the quality of life and recreation manager position, I mean, we just got into the rec center kind of business, if you will, bringing those quality of life activities and things to our residents. It just makes sense that we're moving in this direction for that. So I'm really excited to support these. I'm excited that they're on here because, the clock's ticking on that GO bond money, and let's get it going.
Thank you, Commissioner. Vice Chair, no. Commissioner Chaparro, did you have any questions, comments?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had requested that the 8 and 9 be separated. And I will start with item number 8 to approve the quality of life and recreation manager. I think that will be needed because we're moving so quickly regarding recreation throughout the county and the vision that this board has for that particular issue that we discussed earlier. So I support that. Regarding the government relations position for county manager, how can I put this? I know that we have an assistant county manager position open, and I was hoping we would wait until then to fully comprehend the duties that that assistant county manager was going to move forward on. The former assistant county manager was in charge of government relationships, and I personally think that would fall directly under that until we get a better understanding of how we move forward in that regard. I understand that we have issues, as Commissioner Shelter Renando mentioned, High Mesa Road and MSU, City of Las Cruces. But I think it would be prudent to wait until we get that new assistant county manager. I think we're putting the horse before the cart on this, and we're approving a lot of positions that we, or at least I'm not sure we're going to need in the future. That may be addressed by a new assistant manager coming in, and maybe that person would be able to take, at least temporarily, the government relations needs that the county has. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Chaparro. I agree, at least I know on agenda item number 9 on our the quality of life and rec manager position. Not only are we seeing the growth and wanting to make sure we're positioned for that, I think one of the biggest concerns, and we've had, I know I hear a lot from, especially my community in Radium Springs and in Doña, where I think they've been struggling with, I think, how we've been managing some of the properties, how we're using them. And I know they've been asking for changes in how I know that's a whole different, little bit slightly different discussion, but my hope is that having and I know looking through the agenda packet here, it does say, part of this is to be able to help manage both the north and the south as we continue to build out. And I think it's absolutely critical that these are staffed and we kind of get, my hope is that we not only build these facilities, but I want to make sure that they're managed properly. So I think that's going to be a key piece of it. I appreciate Commissioner Chaparro's comments on agenda item number 9. I can understand where she noted her concerns because of what's been done in the past. I think one of the things that I have seen, and I think why I support this, is I've seen a lot more of the work that's been put into this. This is the first time, I know I mentioned in January, it's the first time I've been to Washington, D.C. during my time here to lobby on behalf of the county. And while we did that and the prep work to be done, it wasn't just like planning it out. We had actual one-pager that we provided to our legislators talking about what were our top 5 projects that we were looking for funding, and that was around High Mesa Road, the desalination plant, the border, the growing and increased size of the border crossing in Santa Teresa. So, that one-pager that we had there, and then going up to Santa Fe, having that booklet that was created for every one of our priority projects or an ICIP, that was the first time we've ever done something like that, where I could have that conversation with a legislator and show, hey, this, here's the list of projects. You have questions about it? Oh, let's open up the book and take a look. And I know that takes a lot of work and effort to build that out. I know it feels like probably like one-time, kind of a one-time deal that we have because we're doing it for the legislative session. But that level of presentation, I feel, has been so much more professional and kind of shows how we're taking things very seriously from Doña County, how we are trying to improve and our presence in our community and in our state. And, you know, in my mind, I don't necessarily want a deputy county manager or something like of that level to have to do some of that tedious work. I would love, you know, I think that's where I see this position playing a particular part in that as we continue to grow in our presence, whether that's in Santa Fe and Washington, D.C., or even our alphabet soup of agencies that we have to deal with here in Doña County. So, but I'd say in overall, I support it from that perspective.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Vice Chair Gomez, please.
So with that said, I also support number 8 with our quality of life and recreational manager position. Since we're working with this master plan and we have these 2 huge recreational centers coming into play and the amphitheater, I can see how we're going to be utilizing this position very frequently, and it's something that we need. For number 9, our government relations. I agree with Commissioner Chaljo Hernandez and Chairman Sanchez as well, and only because we do need an individual. Our ACMs have many departments that they have to deal with, and so does our county manager. And, you know, it's only been about 1.5 years that he's been in, and he's changing a lot of the culture that was here before. And so there's tons of change happening. And I feel like they do need this position to help as well alleviate the pressures on the other ACM that if they were to hire them. You know, obviously, the state legislation that they would help out in that, and being a liaison for these governmental agencies that we need to be having conversations with, you know, our federal legislation as well. And also, we've also just joined the I'm sorry, that goes my tongue, the binational governmental, you know, relationships with Mexico. And so that person will be greatly utilized with that as well. And then again, like today with what's happening with the Mescalero and BLM, they would also be dealing with that, and then we could actually have more information as well. So I look forward to having these positions available, and hopefully we get people, great, wonderful people to join our club. So thank you.
Okay. Is there any other questions or input? Public input? All right. I know, Commissioner Chaparro, I know you noted where you're at. I know supporting agenda. I know you wanted these separate. I know the current motion is for considering both at the same time. So before I move forward with a vote, I know you've expressed support for agenda item number 8 and some reservations about supporting agenda item number 9. So I don't just want to point that out just for the record, so that as we continue to vote, if there was any questions on your vote, whichever way you go, just kind of wanted to reiterate at least what I understood from your comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I appreciate my colleagues' comments, but as I expressed my support for agenda item number 8, the quality of life and recreation manager, and having reservations for the government relationships position. But if you're going to lump them together, then that would put difficulty in stating a strong position for 8. So if I may ask if Commissioner Sheldon Hernandez would take back his motion, and then if we just continue voting on 8 separately from 9, if you would be willing to consider that, Commissioner Sheldon Hernandez.
I'm indifferent. I mean, I support both. I was just trying to save time.
I mean, I don't mind if we want, if we're open to it, I guess at this point, I know we've had that, if we want to withdraw the motion, and then we'll just do each one separately.
Sorry, Brandy, this is a headache now. I withdraw my motion.
And Vice Chair Gomez, do you withdraw your second?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right, so then we're looking at agenda item number 8 for approval of the new quality of life recreation manager position for the county manager to meet strategic needs of the county. If I can get a motion and a second to consider agenda item number 8.
So moved.
All right.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Shaljo Hernandez, a second by Vice Chair Gameros. Any last comments or questions? All right, Randy, if you'll do a roll call on agenda item number 8 on the quality of life and recreation manager.
Commissioner Shaljo Hernandez?
Yes.
Commissioner Chaparro?
Yes.
Vice Chair Gameros?
Yes.
Chair Sanchez?
Yes. Okay, agenda item number 8 is approved. All right, agenda item number 9, which is to approve the new government relations position for the county manager. If I can get a motion and a second to.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so I have a motion by Commissioner Shaljo Hernandez, a second by Vice Chair Gameros. Any questions or last comments on this agenda item? Okay. Randy, if you could do a roll call on agenda item number 9 regarding the approval of a new government relations position.
Commissioner Shaljo Hernandez?
Yes.
Commissioner Chaparro?
No.
Vice Chair Gameros?
Yes.
Chair Sanchez?
Yes. All right, that position is approved. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 10. It's to award a contract to the Hatch Valley Public Schools for the renovation of a food pantry in Hatch, New Mexico in the amount of $150,000, along with associated budget revision and resolution. If I get a motion and a second to begin discussion, please.
So moved.
All right.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Shaljo Hernandez, a second by Vice Chair Gameros, and I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Luttrell.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. And so, as mentioned in the title, this agenda item is to support the completion of the renovation of the community food pantry in Hatch. And so this agreement is with the Hatch Valley Public Schools in partnership with its operators, Casa de Peregrinos. And we do have Lorenzo here from Casa de Peregrinos to provide some information on the project and what it is. But there has been, I believe, $475,000 secured in funding toward this. And so this $150,000 will help with completion.
Good morning, Mr. Alba. Thanks for hanging with us.
Good morning,
I know it's been here since the beginning, so appreciate your patience.
Good morning, Chair Sanchez and Commissioners. I appreciate you having me this morning and considering this funding. Just a little background on what's going on there. This is a collaboration between the Village of Hatch, Hatch Valley Public Schools, now the state of New Mexico, and a new addition if it's approved by Doña County, which would be kind of unprecedented that this many government agencies and school districts and a nonprofit like Casa de Peregrinos are involved in one project in a community like Hatch. We have some CDS funding from U.S. Representative Gabe Vasquez through the USDA, and that's really been the deterrent, if you will, of this project. It's really, really been more expensive than we thought, and more time has passed, and of course, elevation costs have really taken its toll on what we're trying to accomplish there. We are ready to move forward with the bidding. We just have a few more things to get through. And the biggest thing was that the USDA wanted to make sure that we had the rest of the funding for this. We looked at the budget. It's about $150,000 that we need to get this done and over the hump. It is about a 3 or 4 month project. If all of us got together, we could probably finish it in about 2 months. Bring our hammers and stuff. But this is what's happening. This is the way that the federal government operates. And with your help, we'll be able to get this done hopefully by the summer, where we could get this up and going and become more efficient and Hatch. This pantry has made great strides since we opened it. We opened it and have been running it by the seat of our pants in a very old building that doesn't have all the amenities that we need in there. And we're still serving about 600 families every month there, which is phenomenal. We're able to, once we get it opened, completed, we'll be able to open an additional day. We've been doing some delivery services there as well that have really impacted, especially those families that live in the ranchos there that they can't get to the pantry, and our team is delivering to them. We are buying local food there from the grocers and from the farmers. which is incredible. And that's also to some funding that the county provides for us. It's a great collaboration, and adding you to this infrastructure collaboration would just be, like I said, be pretty unprecedented for this type of project. So I'm excited about the opportunity. And thank you so much, and I stand for any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Salva. Are there any questions on this agenda item? Commissioner Chaparro, did you have any questions? Okay, I know Commissioner Chaparro had to, was gonna have to leave, so for a personal item, so I know she's probably dropped off, so. Okay, I think with that, are there any public input? Okay. All right, then I'll ask for a roll call on agenda item number 10, please.
Commissioner Sheljo Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Chaparro, Vice Chair Gameros,
Yes.
Chair Sanchez.
Yes. All right, agenda item 10 is passed, 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And resolution number?
Actually, yes, I apologize. That resolution number is going to be 2026-21.
Thank you. Okay, agenda item number 11. It's an amendment to the County of Doña, New Mexico County Manager Employment Agreement. If I get a motion and a second to.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Sheljo Hernandez, a second by Vice Chair Gameros. Mr. Van Cleve, sorry to make you dash there.
I needed the exercise. Mr. Chair, thank you so much. Commissioners, thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate my colleagues in the public allowing me to make this presentation. What the approval item is about, what it concerns, is some modifications to the county manager's contract. And what we'll do is we'll go over the status of the contract here today, the proposed revisions to that contract, and then briefly bring up probably the most relevant aspect of the contract, which is not going to change, which is section number 5. So the first slide should, or excuse me, the second slide should lay out the way that the original contract is written, the contract that we have right now, and it lays out the initial term for 3 years, and in the second provision, a renewal option for 2 years. And if we move to the third slide, you'll see the modifications that we make. And I have to apologize to everyone in attendance. My PowerPoint skills are lacking. Those numbered items should be 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. For 1.1, the term period, essentially what we've done is adopt that renewal language from the original contract and essentially turned the 3-year term into a 5-year term, adopting that renewal language. We've also, in what should be marked as 1.2, we've laid out a system where either party, either the county manager or the board, would have 90 days prior to the end of the term, should the board choose to adopt it, to begin renegotiation, and then a 30-day provision for which, during which those renegotiations should take place, or at least begin. And then the final item, 1.3, essentially it's a liquidated renewal clause where if any party to where the negotiation fails to enter into that sort of renegotiation phase, the agreement simply renews for an additional term. And the final slide, we've included, and this does not change, this remains the same in the agreement. No other aspect of the agreement should change under what has been submitted to the board for its approval. This just goes through the different termination clauses, so those are still all available to the board. But that concludes my presentation, and I just want to reiterate, thank you so much for allowing me to present.
Thank you, sir. Commissioners, are there any questions, comments? I don't know if at all, like I said, if there was going to be any additional discussion needed under closed session before we move forward with anything. Just want to say, just like I said, it's an option if that's available. If not, like I said, I don't mind continuing on. I think there was looking like the potential of an amendment potentially that was made after by the county manager for a lease, a car lease stipend, which I know was something that had been done, while it wasn't in his original agreement, I know that was something done with previous county managers.
I believe the prior county manager had one. That is correct. So if that's something that we want to do, I have no issue with that. I support it.
Okay. Would you, I guess, I would say, I don't know if we want to start at like a $600 car allowance? Would that be, okay. So I'll make a motion that we amend the agenda item to add a car allowance of $600 per month for the county manager through the duration of the agreement. If I can get a second.
I second.
Okay. Vice Chair Gameros has seconded. Any comments or questions on the car allowance or? Okay.
Nothing for me.
Okay. Just want to make sure it was clear what we were, okay. Then we'll ask Brandy, we'll do a roll call on the amendment to add the car allowance to the agenda item.
Commissioner Shaljo Hernandez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gameros,
Yes.
Chair Sanchez.
Yes. Okay. All right, so that's been, we now back to the original, to the agenda item as amended. Was there any other amendments or other items that we wanted to address?
No.
Okay, I didn't know. I was open to even the suggestion of some additional compensation. I don't know. So I'd like to at least make a motion to increase the county manager's salary by 4%. From this current year.
I second it.
Okay, thank you, Vice Chair Gameros. All right, on the amendment, are there any comments, questions? No. Okay.
None for me, Mr. Chair.
All right. So Brandy, if you'll do a roll call on the amendment to increase the county manager's salary by 4%.
Commissioner Shaljo Hernandez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gameros,
Yes.
Chair Sanchez.
Yes. Okay, so we're back again. Now it's been, we have the two amendments to the agenda item. Are there any other comments, questions on the agenda item as amended?
Nothing for
Okay.
me, Mr. Chair.
Any public input? All right, then I'd ask for a roll call on agenda item number 11 as amended.
Commissioner Shaljo Hernandez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gameros, Chair Sanchez.
Yes. All right, thank you for that. Scott, you're stuck with us for another 2 more years,
Thank you so much. And,
or I should say 3.5 now.
Yeah.
We're into it, but
yeah, thank you for that. And I'll take this time to thank the team. Appreciate you guys. I just show up to meetings a lot of times and you do all the hard work behind the scenes. So thank you so much.
thank you. All right, we're on to agenda item number 12. It's to amend a resolution approving the creation of the Doña County Youth Commission and authorize the county manager to establish policies and procedures. Before we do that, does it make sense to do this, or is there any opportunity to do 12 and 13 together?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
We just got the nod from Melissa, so I think we're good.
okay.
So moved to
Approve.
approve 12 and 13.
Thank you. I'll second the motion. So we're going to be considering agenda item number 12 and 13 together. Agenda item 13 is to approve a resolution to create an advisory board for the Doña County Youth Commission. And for that presentation, we have Ms. Melissa Joa. Good morning.
Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, and Commissioners. Yes, so previously we approved Resolution 143, which is the creation of the Doña Ana County Youth Commission, and now we are looking to amend it. And in the amendment, all we're asking is that moving forward, we match the City of Las Cruces minimum wage. That way we don't have to do constant amendments on the pay for the commissioners. And then for number 13, it's the creation of an advisory board, and we're just seeking to have mentorship for the youth commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions?
Just one, and this is more so for Lucio. Does that mean that we have to do a budget oh, he's gone.
Actually, I can answer that as well.
Okay, perfect.
So we will not be amending the budget this year. Since the fiscal year ends in July, we should be pursuing to include it into the budget request for the coming fiscal year.
Wonderful. Easy peasy then.
Yes. Any other questions?
Not on that. Okay. Oh, just a quick comment. So for the advisory board, we're seeking 7 individual members for the Doña County Youth Commission, which will be helping to provide guidance, mentorship, and support for the youth commissioners. Anything else as far as that goes, or is that basically what we're looking for here?
So yes, we are seeking 7 individual members, and we are looking that they be, hello? Oh, okay. We are looking that they be involved in the youth currently for the county.
Perfect.
So they have to be with an organization representing the youth.
Good. Okay. I think that's perfect. That makes sense.
Okay. Vice Chair Gomez, do you have any questions? Yeah. All right. Any public input? Not hearing or seeing any, so Brandy, if you do a roll call on agenda items number 12 and 13.
Commissioner Shaljo Hernandez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gameros.
Yes.
Chair Sanchez.
Yes. Those items are approved.
Thank you.
Yay.
They're approved, and each one of them does have a resolution number. Item number 12, resolution number 2026-22. Item number 13 is going to be 2026-23.
Thank you. All right, agenda item number 14 is next. Appoint 1 member to the Public Art Advisory Board to serve a 1-year term. And as Ms. Carter is coming up, I'd like to ask for a motion and a second to approve.
So moved.
I'll second the motion. Good morning, Ms.
Did we
Carter.
need to name the person or are we good?
I guess we can, just for clarity, we can.
Okay. It's Barbara Hooten?
Yes.
Hooten, yes.
Okay, so sorry about that. I was trying to get it back to my agenda. I had
No,
opened
you're
up.
good.
Okay, so we have that clarity on the 1 member, Ms. Barbara Hoot.
Correct. Good morning, Chair Sanchez, Commissioners. This was the remaining member that we needed to appoint. Thank you so much. We have scheduled our initial meeting for March 26th. Some of the things that we're going to do immediately, I'm going to give the board an opportunity to review the policies and the procedures that were previously drafted and just ensure that they adhere to other policies and procedures that exist within the state. You're more than welcome to attend the meeting. We're planning to host it here at the Government Center. I can send you the calendar invite. But thank you so much for your support to the arts, and also thank you to my Creative Industries Project Director. She's been offering a lot of guidance and support in assisting us in reviewing applications and guiding us through the process.
Thank you. Are there any questions, board? Public input?
I mean, I think it's just great to see an individual that has been on art and public spaces boards prior and done big projects that wants to get involved. So I'm really grateful. I know that this was kind of like Commissioner Sanchez, one of our little not pet projects, but something that's really exciting for our community. So seeing someone that's done it in other communities like Colorado and Pennsylvania is really excited to bring here and, help us grow in that way.
Absolutely. She has 41 years of experience in the arts in different states.
That'll be awesome, and I think as you had mentioned, Commissioner, I'm excited because this is something that we've been waiting to really get going and implementing as we try to figure out how to use our community spaces to bring more art and beauty to the community. So I'm excited. Excellent. If there are no comments or questions, I'll ask for a roll call on agenda item number 14.
Commissioner Staljo Hernandez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gameros.
Yes.
Chair Sanchez.
Yes. That item is approved. Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Carter. All right, agenda item number 15 is to approve a resolution creating a county advisory and coordination committee on workforce development. Can I get a motion in a second?
So moved.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Commissioner Staljo Hernandez, second by Vice Chair Gameros. Ms. Carter.
Denise Carter again, thank you so much. You remember January 6th, Empower New Mexico came, delivered a presentation about proposing that we should form a Workforce Development Advisory Committee. If you've had a chance to review the resolution, you approving the resolution would allow us the first step in trying to form that committee. We will come back with recommendations on different organizations that we would like at the table. The resolution says up to 25 members, only because we want to be inclusive of everybody having an opportunity to sit at the table. And I believe we have some of the Empower New Mexico members online, because I know they wanted to speak in support of the item.
Thank you so much. Are there any members of the Empower Coalition that would like to speak online?
The only ones I see are for the next item.
Okay.
Oh, there she is, Oriana.
All right, Ms. Oriana Sandoval. I don't know if you would like to have an opportunity to speak on the Workforce Advisory Board that's being considered.
Hi, good morning. Just stand in support and thank the commission for the leadership on being proactive and considering this.
Thank you, Ms. Sandoval. I just want to say, this is something I know I'm really excited about, something that I know is kind of the first step to what we had discussed a little bit on January 6th. I think my hope is that, as you noted, Ms. Carter, I think it's a broad coalition that we want to get in, bring in, and bring into this. But really, the hope is that was trying to create a program for potentially wraparound services or other ways in which we can encourage connecting people with jobs. I know we're really looking at trying to get them connected with the job training we're working to build out with NMSU and DACC for Project Jupiter. But really, if this is something that ends up working, I think this is a model that can be taken across the state and or push for state funding in the future as we start to collect data as this kind of moves forward. So I'm excited for this piece. I do see Mr. Guerrero, who's just walked in. I don't know if you would like to give any public input on the Workforce Development Advisory Board.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. Sorry to be late. But yes, definitely really appreciate you all taking up this initiative. Strongly urge your support. As you mentioned, I'm with the Empower New Mexico Coalition, so there are 5 community-based organizations around the state, including Center for Civic Policy, OLE, New Mexico Cafe, and Semilla Project here in Doña County, and Somos un Pueblo Unido. This really is an important step and potentially a good model for local governments to maximize the benefits of projects that receive public subsidies and assure that workers can get, from disadvantaged communities, underserved communities can get those jobs. So The advisory committee, we think the resolution looks great in terms of being able to strengthen partnerships between employers, education and training providers, and workforce agencies and community organizations. Because we think one of the main gaps that community organizations can fill is to help with those grassroots networks and making sure that the outreach is getting done in those communities to assure that folks can get into these programs, and then also help define some of the policies and programs that are going to be needed. And of course, this is going to cost money. So the fact that you're establishing this workforce development fund, that's a huge deal. I don't know of any other government that's done that, has established a fund for the ongoing long-term needs for workforce development, and the level of coordination you're going to establish through this body is going to be really important. So anyway, just really want to applaud your efforts on this, and thank you for working with our coalition on helping to shape this resolution. And also the staff, Denise has been really super helpful, and County Manager Andrew. So anyways, yeah, anything else I can help answer, I'm more than happy to do that. And I think we had other people that were on their way too, so I don't know if it's late for that, but I'm sure they'd be happy to weigh in.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Guerrero. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the input and, even the kind of working with the Empower Coalition to figure out how to kind of move forward. And I think, like I said, as we start this critical piece, I think gets us in that next step to start working towards building it. So appreciate your all's partnership on this. Thank you. Commissioner Hernandez.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to Commissioner Sanchez. I think you said it well. And thank you for joining us today. I think you literally took the words out of my mouth. But I think that, we've all been in conversations like those in the past where we're looking at how to kind of bridge those workforce conversations in our community. And I think this is going to do exactly that, Denise. I know that this is something that you've been working on for a long time. Even before kind of these conversations, this has been something that you've been really excited about. You got the commission excited about it, but the duties and responsibilities in here are so achievable in a short amount of time that it really gets me excited. And money does a lot of great things. And being able to put money towards this initiative to make sure that it really does take off and does what needs to be done is going to be great. I think supporting talent attraction, retention, and upskilling is huge. I know that Mavita has done great work with that. Now seeing that the county is going to be able to kind of take that and even go further with that. And, that literally supporting our local workforce is just great. And the opportunities that we're going to see locally and through the state are going to be great. So I'm really excited that we're taking this on. Thank you for coming in and talking about this. This is just going to go so much further over the years. We're going to see more industry partners come in wanting to do business in the county, and we're going to directly be able to charge this advisory board to say, cool, you're it. Like, let's do this. Let's figure out how to get them a plan and make sure that we're employing these residents here in Doña. Let's work with the schools. Let's work with the charter schools and say, hey, we have a gap. How are you going to help us fill that gap? Oh, you need money? Cool, let's do it. I'm all about this. I think that reskilling, upskilling is what we need to do. And I think the fact that the county government is willing to do it is absolutely amazing. So
Thank you so
exciting.
much for your support. We do have one more member that would like to speak, Mr. Ibarra.
Good morning, Commissioner Chair Sanchez, Vice Chair Gameros. I just wanted to reiterate from Project Jupiter that to maximize local participation, the companies will work with their general contractors, subcontractors, and facility operators to develop a strategy to inform, recruit, and prioritize local residents and businesses for both construction and long-term operational roles. This includes commitment to Doña Ana County first. Hiring strategy, working with the county to prioritize hiring locally. Project Jupiter is committed to creating a centralized project website with job boards and hiring information, hosting informational sessions, and creating a local vendor registry to prioritize Doña Ana County hiring. Project Jupiter is committed to hiring locally to provide opportunities for New Mexicans. So I'm here. I'm glad for this, and let's talk. Let's get together, and let's get our New Mexicans, our Doña Ana residents, to work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ibarra. I know we have, looks like, I think we have another input. Good morning, sorry.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Adriana Navarro. I am the Data Integrative and Email Marketing Specialist at Summit Project. Everyone behind me in the green, as you can see, is aligned with the SEMIA project. So we strongly urge your support for establishing the County Advisory and Coordination Committee on Workforce Development and the Workforce Development Fund. The resolution, we believe, would be an important step and a model for local governments to maximize the benefits of projects that receive public subsidies and ensure that workers from disadvantaged communities have a real chance to obtain good jobs. We believe it will strengthen partnerships among employers, education, training providers, workforce agencies, and community organizations. It will identify current and emerging workforce needs and recommend responsive solutions. It will also create equitable access to education, training, and employment opportunities for Doña Ana County residents. We applaud the fact that community-based organizations will be appointed to the committee. CBOs can offer expertise in policy and program development. We are rooted in underserved communities and can help empower communities to ensure that New Mexico workers have access to quality jobs, and we stand ready to support this effort, and we thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Chair Sanchez, I do have a couple questions for Denise.
Please, yes.
Yes.
So I know that in the past, especially with like the youth commission and stuff like, or not youth commission, but with like the art board, we have to approve those positions. I'm assuming that with 25 people, it's not going to be approved by the board and it'll just be done within the department. Is that correct?
We can, but I'm still going to keep you informed as we go through the process of doing the drafting the procedures,
Okay.
looking at the organizations, because you are approving and you're going to be supporting this, so you need to be informed as
Yeah.
to where we're at.
I think that's really important that we're informed and kept in the loop, but I don't think we need to have our finger on this. I just want us to be going at light speed yesterday. So getting these people and getting, you know, butts and seats, if you will, is going to be great. And just so you know, we just created our own little career pathway. All these youth commissioners are gonna, we can kind of tap them in for future jobs here in Doña Ana County. So look at us creating little career pathways. Gosh.
In the resolution, you're actually directing the county manager to work on this. So
Oh, another job for you, Scott. But no, I think this is great. So I'm literally hyped. I'm also caffeinated, but I am hyped. I'm really excited that we're getting this done. So long overdue. Just, you know, every single time we meet with an elected official or legislators or anyone, they're always screaming like, we want to keep our kids here. Cool. Let's do it. Let's keep our kids here. This is how we're going to do it, right? Yeah, and then we're gonna not only keep our youth here and employed, we're gonna let them stay in their communities that they grew up using our Go Bond monies to make sure that there's a quality of life in their backyard. This is like, this meeting is so like full circle for me that we're just doing so much right now. I mean, it is a heavy agenda and it's a heavy meeting, but like literally this is so full circle. Like quality of life, keeping people where they want, employing them, making sure there's great jobs, touching our like kind of NGOs, if you will, our community partners and putting them to work and saying, we need your help. This is huge for us. So I'm so excited right now. Like I know you can all tell because I do talk a lot when I get excited, but once again, full circle, we're actually doing stuff that will affect every single person here. And you know, next up we have an IRB that we're going to be looking at. Yeah, cool. Now we're going to be able to do a career pathway that helps with this. We're going to be able to tap our community partners and say, hey, we need this. How can you help us? And they're going to create this and they're going to grow. And you guys are going to get so much more kind of community involvement with your organization because we're going to plug you in. You're going to plug us in. We're going to plug you in and we're going to grow. I'm so excited. This is like so transformative for our community.
thank you so much, because none of this would happen without your support and your guidance.
I'm now going to stop talking.
Thank you, Commissioner Sheldon Hernandez. And I think one of the things, and actually I'll give before I talk, I don't know if Vice Chair Gamidos, did you have anything to add or I didn't want to? I want to give sure you had a chance to
Oh,
speak.
no, yes, thank you. No, I'm just affected by his enthusiasm here. Because
Rubbing it off on you.
Yes, I share the same sentiment, I'm not caffeinated, but I'm just like, I feel like I am, with the osmosis here.
Love it.
So yes, I think this is going to be an amazing opportunity for our youth, and I'm excited that we will be able to, educate and have this workforce of our youth, and not just only our youth, other people as well, right, of other ages, and for them to finally stay in our Doña Ana County, and to, I don't know, I just think it's just going to be amazing just to have this opportunity, and I thank you and everyone that's a part of this.
Thank you.
I just want to say, I think here at Doña Ana County, we really do have a lot of programs, but I think sometimes where we struggle is connecting people with those programs. And I think this is where I think we reach out to the community partners because of as noted, like the grassroots effort. We can use your support. We're thankful to be a part of this with you because we want to make sure if we make these investments, we want to make sure people are connected with that. And that's, I want to say, kind of your all specialty is working in the communities and helping us do that, help build the trust of, hey, this is real. This is something that's for you guys, for the community members. And I think that's been the most important, I think, particularly for me, that gets me really excited about this. Like I said, I think one of the things that I've seen, and this has been my frustration, and maybe it's just because I have not seen it directly. I know our Office of Workforce Solutions on the state level does some really good things, but sometimes trying to connect this funding directly with connecting people with jobs and seeing that direct connection, whether it's there or in the schools, I don't see it because we're so siloed. And that's been one of the biggest frustrations. I've said it several times while being on the commission. And so I'm excited to try to see how we can do something different. And like I mentioned earlier, trying to see, is this potential, will we be able to get data and collect that and really show to other communities, other states, other members in the state or departments in the state to say, this works. Do some investment in those community, work with building this and connecting those. And I just want to add a couple of things. I know we had Mr. Ibarra speak earlier, but I know there was just a news report released by the Albuquerque Journal that had indicated that Oracle has projected that the numbers of jobs that they're looking at for Project Jupiter had doubled. I think we were looking at 3,000 construction jobs and 750 full-time staff jobs. They're now projecting 4,000 construction and 1,500 full-time jobs. And I know we can, if there's, I know there's a lot of skepticism about that, and I'll say right now we're getting beat up in Santa Fe, particularly because of this. If any members of our legislature want to have a discussion about what went on and done some of that, I know their questions, they've had some questions that are best discussed and answered by the companies. But from the Doña Ana County side, I would be glad to have a conversation with them. Several of our, as I mentioned, I tried to meet with all our legislative staff while doing capital outlay in Santa Fe. Some weren't. I'm sure that it was tied to this topic, but I just want to assure them and the community, some of that. This is going to be, with some of the understanding, some of the concerns, this is going to be a really big positive of this and how we really turn this into a benefit for the community, because it's incumbent upon us at the county now to deliver for our community. And so this is one of the ways that I'm hoping we can make sure that we're doing that, because as was mentioned, we're doing a lot of quality of life initiatives. This is a big piece of trying to connect our people with those jobs, because that was the commitment for this.
Absolutely. Allowing everyone a seat at the table.
I lied. I'm not going to stop talking yet. Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes.
So kind of on that subject too, about the jobs, and I got an email about kind of the exact same thing that you're talking about, Chair, is that, yeah, we do these IRBs, and I see our bond attorney in the back. Welcome. So glad you're here again. But, the conversations have been around, like, how do we make sure that, we're actually employing people here locally? How do we make sure that we're doing that? That is something that this advisory committee is going to be able to do too, is to help us with that, to really help drive kind of the stake in the ground and say, no, we got the career, we have all the people here. And when we're looking at kind of gaps in job creation here, like there's literally gaps. Like you can see holes throughout the entire, job workforce here in Doña County. Like there's holes everywhere. And, I love to see our communities being highlighted as the #1 place to retire. I think that's great that we're a retirement community. But the thing is that Doña County is going to be the #1 place to live, work, and thrive. If it is the last thing I do, that will be the front page news of the New York Times, of USA Today, whatever it is. Like, yeah, the retirement community is great and we love them, but we're going to put people to work here in our own backyards. So everyone that's on this committee, you got me excited, so here we go. But we're going to make sure that we're the #1 place to work. Okay, now I'm going to stop.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Shaldo Hernandez. Any other comments before we move on to a roll call? All right. All right, Brandy, if you will do a roll call on agenda item number 15, please.
Commissioner Shaldo Hernandez,
Enthusiastically, yes.
Vice Chair Gameros,
Yes.
Chair Sanchez.
Yes.
That item does have a resolution number. That number is 2026-24.
Thank you, and thank you all for showing up and partnering with us. By the way, Brandy, I apologize. By the way, I wasn't doing payback for what my name. By the way,
I didn't think so.
thank you all. All right, agenda item number 16. It's a resolution amending resolution number 2025-142 relating to the proposed industrial revenue bonds entitled Doña County, New Mexico Taxable Industrial Revenue Bonds, Lower Rio Grande Solar LLC Project, Series 2026, declaring the intent of Doña County to issue such industrial revenue bonds in connection with the proposed project located within the boundaries of Doña County for the purpose of inducing Lower Rio Grande Solar LLC or its successors or assigns to construct and install the project. If I can get a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Commissioner Shaldo Hernandez, a second by Vice Chair Gameros. Ms. Carter.
If I can have our bond attorney join me. I will also let you know the developer and their bond counsel are online if there are any questions.
Excellent. Good morning, Mr. Muirhead.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair, Commissioners. Nice to see you all, Mr. County Manager. This is a short resolution amending the resolution that was adopted November 11th of last year for the Lower Rio Grande Solar LLC project. The project remains the same in that it is a renewable energy project in the town of Vado. The critical change here, the company is saying they're increasing their capital investment from $4 million to $10 million. And so the IRB amount needs to match, or ideally matches, what they are investing. And so this short resolution does bounce it from $4 million to $10 million. The project remains the same. It is a community solar program wherein it is anticipated 50% of the subscribers will be low-income households. The county has a 25% payment in lieu of taxes. This is just the kickoff. They will come back for the actual industrial revenue bond ordinance, where you'll have the opportunity to vote yes or no on the project as a whole. This just allows for publication and gets it in the public discussion what you're looking at. Happy to answer any questions. I know Mr. Duffy's on, as well as the company.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Commissioner.
I just have a question on the community solar program, with it being 50%, of 50% of the subscribers being low-income households. Is that for additional kind of tax revenue, or how does that work out? What is the motive there?
This project, and I'll allow the company to speak as well, does have tax incentives and tax credits related to the stacking of the financing. Perfect. And so being in that program does provide additional benefits.
Got it. That was it. That works for me. I just wanted to know if it was that.
Vice Chair Gamados, did you have any questions or comments?
No.
Okay, I don't see anybody else, and I know I appreciate the applicants joining for this. I know this is just the resolution, as you had mentioned, Mr. Muirhead, to allow for publication, and so
Yes, sir.
we'll be back for approval of this.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other comments, public input? All right. Brandy, if you'll do a roll call on agenda item number 16, please.
Commissioner Shaljo Hernandez,
Yes?
Vice Chair Gamados,
Yes.
Chair Sanchez.
Yes.
Thank
The
you.
resolution's approved.
That does have a resolution number. The resolution number is 2026-25.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is commission follow-up input. Are there any other input from the commissioners? All right, then we're on to correspondence. Brandy, is there any correspondence?
Yes. We have Candelaria Law LLC versus Doña Ana County, Fidel Garcia versus Doña Ana County, Lydia Herrera and Mikey Herrera versus Doña Ana County, Max Flores versus Doña Ana County, Gabriel Lucero versus Doña Ana County, and John Van Note versus Doña Ana County.
Thank you, Brandy. All right, I guess at this time, there is no need to convene in closed session. And so with that, we will call this meeting adjourned at 11:36 a.m. Thank you all so much. We will see you back in 2 weeks on February 24th here in the Commission chambers. Thank you all so much.